Welcome everyone. Thank you for joining this session on how you can increase your revenue with Power Platform. We're very excited to be part of this wonderful virtual event with one of the greatest Dynamics 365 and Power Platform community. And also thank you to the whole DynamicsCon team for this opportunity to talk in front of you guys. We encourage you to interact with us during this session. Leave us your comments and all your questions in the chat box. We'll make sure to answer them during the Q&A. Let's kick things off. I'm Jérémie from Sherweb. I'm the Dynamics 365 specialist, and I'll be your host for today's session. So you might be wondering who's Sherweb. So just before we start, I wanted to quickly introduce us, as you might not know who we are. We have been around for now over 20 years in North America, and we are a cloud solutions provider. We serve over 6,500 partners and have more than 1,100 employees dedicated to you and your success. So let's go over the digital transformation landscape. These numbers have been reported by Gartner regarding the demand. So you might be wondering why the Power Platform, is there really a market for that? Well, Gartner says yes. So as you can see, the demand for mobile apps will grow at least 5 times faster than IT can deliver, which means it leaves a huge gap for partners and for Dynamics experts to get in and jump in the Power Platform to add value. In the next 5 years, 500 million new logical apps will be created, which is equal to the number of built over the past 40 years. So again, exponential growth of logical apps, and a lot of expertise will be required. But talking about expertise, by 2024, low-code applications will constitute more than 65% of application dev activity, which means traditionally you needed someone internally to do programming, to do some very specific technical development. Now you can actually, build your own apps without this external expertise. You might be able to use your tech team to do that, and this is very great for enterprises that are looking to be more autonomous. So let's move on. I just wanted to make sure that no one is missing out on these Power Apps upcoming changes. So as of October 1st, Microsoft is changing the pricing for Power Apps per user plan. It used to be $20 per user per month, and now it's going. It used to be $40 actually, sorry, and now it will be $20 per user per month, which is a 50% discount. The Power Apps per app plan will be priced at $5 per user per app per month, which used to be $10. And these are not promotional prices. These are going to be the retail pricing as of October 1st. So great news, making the Power Platform more accessible than ever. So all around, just great news for partners and clients. The Power Apps portal's login capacity will be available at a reduced price for eligible customers purchasing large volumes of sessions, which means that portals are licensed through views and logins. And if you have a large number of sessions, you can actually use the tiered pricing now, which is very discounted the more you need, of course. And lastly, the Power Apps offer will end on September 30th. So the Power Apps offer, if you did not get the chance to take a look at it, is a 70% reduction in the Power Apps per app plan offer. There's a minimum of 200 users, but if you need help, figuring things out, Sherweb can be there for you to get your clients on that promotion. So you have a big week to get that done. Let us know if you need our help. All right. I wanted to quickly go over, what are the different products in the Power Platform. Of course, Power Apps, you will have Canvas and model-driven apps. Canvas apps being more customizable, more, you can actually define the user experience, define the navigation, and the interface as well. It's sort of a drag and drop approach. You get what you see what you get. And it uses language similar to Excel, FXLogix. And if you're used to Excel, you shouldn't have any trouble figuring things out in the Canvas model apps. Model-driven apps are a bit different in the sense that you might recognize the interface from Dynamics 365. Dynamics 365 Custom Engagement uses actually the same interface as these apps or model-driven apps, except they're built by Microsoft, and of course they include a lot of features that are exclusive to the Dynamics products. So even if you wanted to reproduce a CRM in Power Apps, you might be missing out on certain features. And both of them can connect to data sources. You have data on-prem, you have data in the cloud, data through other SaaS. If they have connectors, you can actually connect to it and leverage that. If they don't have connectors, well, feel free to use the APIs that are available to develop your own. Also, in under the Power Apps umbrella, there's also portals. So portals, or basically Power Apps that are aimed at external users, but can also be used for internal users. There are 4 templates available: so customer self-service, partner, employee self-service, and community, and basically allows you to give them access to the Power Apps, even though they're not part of your own organization. So if you have suppliers that need to drop documents, or if you need someone to drop pictures for certain claims or certain projects, well, this can all be done through portals. Moving on to AI Builder. So AI Builder is a set of tools to help you with the Power Apps. So we used to say that AI is coming, it's going to be great. Well, AI is here today, and it's part of the Power Platform. So you are actually in the future now. So let's take advantage of whatever is in there right now, and make the most out of it. To go over a few out of the box AI models, you have a form processing solution. So if you have clients that are still using pen and paper to fill out forms, you can actually scan those and have the form processing solution do the data entry for you. It will auto detect, of course, the answers. There might be some corrections required, but at least you get the bulk of it done through automation, and that's what's great. You are going to save time and money through this AI. There's object detection. So if you, like I said earlier, you need pictures from outside to maybe approve or deny some warranty claims, well, object detection can actually help you with that. It can basically auto approve certain claims if it the picture corresponds to a few requirements that you set. So it will detect if your object complies with whatever requirements you put in there. Very useful for that. Prediction can be used for process prediction. So it will use historical data to figure out if the output is going to be X or Y or Z, and it will basically predict the outcome. Very useful if you're into BI. And lastly, there's of course a lot more AI models out there right now, and there's also going to be a lot more in the future. As we know, it's a constant. There's always a constant flow of new updates with Microsoft. So keep up to date to make sure you know everything. You know what's coming up. But know that AI Builder is out right now. You can leverage that to make sure that your apps are they're the most they can be. Also, it does not require data scientists and weeks, months of custom development. Like I said, it's all part of the Power Platform right now, and very easy to understand. Moving on to Power Automate. Power Automate, that used to be called Microsoft Flow. So if you've seen those words before, it's not surprising. You can actually design workflows using the workflow design interface and create some custom workflows. There's also, of course, pre-built templates that you can use, but you can build your own. You have access to 300 plus connectors. So like I said earlier, again, a bit similar to Power Apps, you can connect to any sort of data. So whether you're on-prem, whether you're using other business apps, as long as there's a connector for it, you can pull the data and apply the process that you need to it. Power Automate supports complex logic, so there's actually a lot of ifs and conditions that you can put in there. Very useful to customize everything. And lastly, there's RPA, so robotic process automation. If you need to perform some task, whether it is attended or unattended, if you need your to make the most out of your time, if you need the workflows to be working at night, this is basically a second employee, right? You can make them work 24/7 for you, and it'll be it'll never stop, as long as of course there's no errors. But this is the same as this can be true for anything, right? Moving on to Power Virtual Agent. So Power Virtual Agent is basically a chatbot. It has a built-in analytics on usage patterns. You can deploy it to Power Apps Portal, website, Facebook Messenger, Microsoft Teams, any other platform that supports chat basically. There's a bot design interface on the right, so you can actually configure the whole thing on the right. And on the left, you actually see what the end user will be experiencing. So very useful, and I think that's a big differentiator when it comes to chatbots. And of course, you can use it to handle basic customer demands, or even give them an update on their orders, or if you need to escalate things to a human, the Power Virtual Agent can either do this automatically or manually if you see that the bot is not handling the customer as it should. It's fully integrated with telephony through Dynamics 365 Omnichannel. And so chat messages can be converted into a voice discussion for more efficient service and better customer experience at the end of the day. Okay, so let's go over the short-term opportunity. So should you take a look at the Power Platform, right now? Well, of course, like I mentioned, Power Apps can fill in the gaps for business apps. So unified operations in Business Central can go to certain places. Well, if you think that Business Central can do certain things well, you can actually develop your own Power Apps to complete these gaps. So at the end of the day, if you have clients that are saying Business Central is not a good fit, you can actually say, well, it is a good fit if we include Power Apps, right? Power Apps can be customized to their requirements, can be very essential to fill in those gaps. Right now, it's a good time to jump into it. Power Automate, again, a bit in the same sense that if there's a workflow in F&O and Business Central that's not covered, Power Automate can definitely help you in that. AI bot and RPA. So this is just to add value on top of the Power Apps and Power Automate. If you would like to impress customers with AI, like I mentioned, AI is out here today. It's not going to be here in the future. It's already out here today. It's a good way to add value to what's already out there. Also, it provides you with immediate differentiation, and greater sophistication equals more bill hours, higher bill rates for you as you get more expertise. You might be wondering, what's the long-term opportunity for you? So if you're an existing Dynamics 365 business, and you're trying to add a lot of value to your existing customer base, Power Platform can help you do that. So by getting that expertise, you can actually cross-sell or upsell your customers to other products within the Microsoft world, and this will create you more monthly revenue, and of course more billable hours. All of this will create expertise that can also be reused outside of the Dynamics world. Power Apps is very flexible. You can, like I mentioned, use it with almost any SaaS out there that has a connector. And so this expertise will just complete your Dynamics offer a bit better. You'll be able to modernize, their existing business applications, providing a lot of value as well at the same time, showing that you are the partner of excellence, and at the end of the day, your client basically are getting a complete offer. All right, so how can Sherweb help you, right? You might be wondering, why is Sherweb presenting today? Well, today we're making sure that you know that there's an opportunity for the Power Platform. We're basically a fast track to market with the CSP. You can go to market in just 10 minutes and avoid Microsoft requirement to provide 24/7 technical support. We have an easier way to provision and build clients with our partner portal. You use our own portal. We use our own partner portal to license, provision, and bill your customers from one central location. You can also take advantage of our powerful integration tools. So we use PSC integrations for such as Kaseya, TigerPaw, and very many other big names in the industry. So if you already use a PSA, you can actually build your clients right from that integration. You also have access to expert sales and marketing advice for Dynamics 365. Our team will help you build a solid marketing plan for Dynamics 365. You will have access to the partner toolbox that contains a lot of marketing collaterals, campaigns in a box, one-on-one consultations with our Dynamics experts, and get a wide range of sales and marketing tools such as sales battle cards, product fact sheets, plus the latest Dynamics 365 licensing guide, also known as Microsoft's Bible, right? And lastly, you also get access to expert training programs and free exam vouchers. So if you need your team to be up to date with certifications because you're trying to retain a few competencies that you currently have, we can help you with that. If you reach out to us as a partner, we will help you. So yeah, I think that's it. So we'll be moving on to the Q&A, and it's been a pleasure.
Much for attending DynamicsCon. We want to thank DynamicsCon personally for this amazing event. We want to thank everyone for joining us for the Q&A session that we have for today. So Sabrina, you want to start off with the amazing little gift card promotion we have? The opportunity to win $100 with Sherweb through Amazon? Sabrina, are you still with us? Hi. Okay, I'll be sending over the link then for the $100 gift card opportunity. Personally, for this amazing event, we want to thank everyone for joining us for the Q&A session that we have for today. So Sabrina, you want to start off with? Okay, perfect. So we're going to go with the questions. I think the first question we want to go with is the ones that we have on chat. Sabrina, you're on mute, by the way.
Yes, I am.
Technical difficulties, right? Joys of working remote. Okay, perfect. Okay, so I think we have some delays here, so that's no problem. So we're going to start off with some of the questions. One of the first questions was asking about portals on intents for a customer that tends to use portals a little bit less for login capabilities and that. So there are two different plans that you can go with: the login capacity authenticated users versus the page view capacity unauthorized users. For the second aspect, we recommend the page view capacity user for the people who are not using it as much. It's half the pricing. Yes, it's not a login per se, but for the customers that are looking for a more cost-effective route, then that would be the cheapest option that you can get to start implementing portals into an organization. I think I've lost Sabrina.
Okay, I'm here. Is it good? Am
yes,
I good?
We can hear you perfect.
Sorry about that, guys. My God. Okay, I'm back. So you talked about the raffle, right? Correct?
Yes, I talked about the raffle, but you're going to have to put on chat of how to actually get into the raffle in that. You have a chance of winning a $100 gift card for filling out a small little quick form. So Sabrina, I've already gone over the first question about the portal login for a cheaper route to go through portals of how to log in as an unauthorized login per user route. What other questions we have for us today?
Well, actually, I was thinking, not thinking, but a good start would be where can I actually find the most recent Dynamics 365 licensing guide. So we also have a question, and we have a link for you where you can download this free resource from Microsoft. It is an updated PDF document that they update it monthly. So we can share that with you. Anything else? So yeah, we covered the Power Apps pricing and licensing updates in the presentation. This is also a link that we can share with you guys to just learn more about what's coming up for this very useful app under Microsoft umbrella. And then I think, Chris, did you cover what is the cost of the Power Apps portal with a lower engagement? I think you answered in the chat.
Well, I answered the question of the package, right? It also depends on which country you're calling from, right? Microsoft has different pricing for different organizations and currency, and also depending if you're through a channel or not. But a direct MSRP for that plan in the US, we're talking about $100 per month. And it's then you can actually use scalable afterwards. But if you're doing scalable, then maybe you'll be better off going with a new pricing route with the login capacity if you're planning to have multiple logins for that route. So that would answer your question, but there's a lot of variation in pricing in that. But the MSRP, always a good idea. Look into the pricing of portal apps on Microsoft's webpage to give you an idea of what Microsoft is recommending as a suggested retail pricing, but that does not include your implementation fees.
Yeah, of course not. Perfect. That's good. Thank you so much. And so I know we all often get questioned about just the like the branding of all the Dynamics apps because we know that there's a lot to cover in there. And I was wondering, or maybe it's just a great portal that we usually go as a reference for great content. If it's either ebooks, it could be web banners, messaging, what kind of audience this solution should address, and all the icons. You can find it on the Microsoft partner portal. So we will be sharing those links as well because we just find they are super helpful. You can go in there and really have your go-to-market strategy built from the assets Microsoft provide. And so that was a cool little effect right there. So we will be sharing that link as well for you guys. So yeah, let me check here.
While you checking that, I can actually go through one of the questions that we get asked quite often because of this changement in pricing. That what does this lead to as opportunities in the marketplace? And some things that some partners forget about is going after your existing customer base when there's new changement in pricing that, and there's new opportunities to re-engage with your existing customer base. We all know it's a lot cheaper to actually go after one of your existing customers than to acquire a new customer. And also, it's always a good idea to revisit with projects you've done in the past within the 3 months, 6 months, and 1 year mark to see what has changed in the organization. So one of those big benefits would be to see if there's a change in management, especially because if there's new managers in place, then there tends to be new focuses in the company that might have shifted, which means that there might be a new need to re-engage with that customer for a new project or to offer them newer solutions. It's very important to be proactive with these kinds of customers. We usually recommend to do an email nurture. Lunch and learns are very well received in the really well received, where you can explain a little bit more how wonderful that the Canvas apps, the model-driven apps, or how portals can help them revamp their business and also to solve issues in their current day-to-day capabilities. Sabrina, did you want to add anything to that spec?
No, that's perfect. Thank you, Chris. We also have a question. So someone is asking, is there a portal for planning? That means for the external user that could log in a portal and then book a meeting. But I'm pretty sure that the M365 just suite in general, they have that. Like it's called bookings, right?
Yes,
so I'm not sure. Can you develop
it's
on that?
called MS Bookings, and that which you can get set up if you have any form of license. So you need to have a team member's license, which is included in Business Basic and above. So anything with a Teams license, Teams license would have the ability to set up a booking, which you don't even need an app for. 100% free to use service, and it's a really easy to get set up. It's very compatible to some of the competitors on the marketplace, but the difference is it is included in your packages with the Office 5 suite. So you just have to make sure that you're checking to see which MS5, OS5 package you have. If it has a team license, then you should be perfectly fine to set up booking.
Perfect, thank you. So yeah, oftentimes you don't necessarily go to a Power Apps, yes, of course you can, but you can also, there's tools out there that exist that can oftentimes like resolve the challenge or something that you're trying to accomplish. So it's good to just have the landscape of all the solution available, and sometimes it is already included in something that you're using, you just don't know of it. So it's a great question. We also have another question in regards to project operations. So Chris, I know you've been deep diving into project operation because of the changes that happened last year in fall. So I don't know if you can answer that right away. If not, we can just look for the information and post it in the chat. So what are the Dynamics 365 project operations tables that cannot be used in a model-driven app, so without a Dynamics license? Or where can I find this information?
Well, in terms of the information aspect of it, it would actually be in the project operations documentation. Microsoft Docs has a lot of great documentation when it comes to limitations on some of these services. In terms of which all of those would be. I wouldn't be able to name them right off the bat, but it'd be more than a pleasure to go research that for you, because I don't have all that information right on me at this current moment. And also it depends on how much. It really depends also on how much would actually be required in terms of, there's some aspects that do give free licensing aspects, but depends on the flows and depending on how much, if you hit those limitations or not. And it's actually in the Dynamics 5 licensing guide to talk about those limitations of what is included or what is a paid aspect that would require additional licensing, because every license does include some forms of Power BI, Power Automate, all that for free, but it depends on the amount of steps that you use and how your flow is.
Sorry, I'm looking at the chat at the same time.
Perfect. I think anyway, if there's any more questions, we all welcome you to attend our booth. You can always book myself or Sabrina for any calls and that if you want to get into more of a technical conversation where we can really look at project together, discuss about licensing, discuss about how to market these types of solutions to your customer base. This is all stuff that Sherweb focuses quite a bit on and works with a lot of our expert partners in that form. Other than that, Sabrina, we want to thank everyone for attending this.
Attending this session, and also don't forget about the raffle. If you have just more question about what Sherweb can do as an indirect provider for you, you have our contact information and you can just reach out to us, and it will be a pleasure to help you grow into this dynamic environment. So
thank you, everyone.
Thank you. Have a good day.